we have a fast track program that we offer our clients, but we're going to give you the ultra fast track in order for you to show up for Jason in the best way possible. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to a tip sheet. And again, you can get access to that. Maria's going to follow up with you. Make sure all of you have access to that tip sheet. It's a checklist, because I'm going to tell you, if you just use that check sheet after this and go practice doing interviews, it's going to be a very short period of time where you're going to look like a star. Not only looking like a star, sounding like a star, acting like a star, you're going to be good at doing interviews as a guest or as a host. Follow the check sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rapid fire through some of those tips. I'm going to cherry pick some of the tips from the checklist so that I can give some visual improvement right in front of your eyes so that everybody can see it. So it's not just, well, man, that guy's full of hot air. He's like doing a lot of talking here, but like, show me something and I'll show you something. Okay, so are you ready, folks? Give me a wave. Give me a wave if you are ready to make some transformation. All right, good. Let's go through the B.L.A.S.T acronym, B.L.A.S.T. And again, there's a lot of tips in this, so we're only going to cover a few, and it's going to be lightning fast. Okay. B. B stands for be, like B-E, be. And it refers to a number of things. First off, be yourself. Be yourself in an interview. I can't stress this enough. The only time that I would suggest that you be somebody else is maybe if you're an actor playing a role, or if your brand that you want to put out is of the nature that you need to be that character. But I'm going to tell you, that's a skill in itself, being somebody else. What most audiences resonate with is authenticity. If you could just be yourself on camera, and I'm going to call this coffee shop talk. And I'll tell you why specifically I call it coffee shop talk. Because when you're in a coffee shop hanging out with your friends, or even if it's a stranger, you have a certain natural ability of communicating. It's a heart level communication. It's not a head level communication. For those that are not comfortable being on camera, you often immediately go into head level communication. You're in your head. You've heard that before. When you're in your head, you're thinking about yourself. That's what's happening. When you're in your head, you're often thinking about, how do I look? How do I sound? Am I resonating with the audience? I'm going to tell you, when you be yourself, when you're authentic, you're hardly ever thinking about yourself. You're thinking about the person across from you, if it's in a coffee shop. But the other advantage of a coffee shop is a coffee shop often has noise in the background. Now, if you can imagine what you would speak like if there was a bit of noise in the background and you have to raise your voice a little bit, you have to speak a little louder and a little more animated. That is the way you speak on camera. And because I'll tell you what happens, if you speak the way you normally would speak to a family member in a relaxed state, you're going to sound very humdrum. You're going to be dry. It's going to be boring. So the camera actually sucks energy from you. So what we're going to do is we're going to amp up your energy a little bit. So a couple of things I'd like you to do. We're going to practice being ourselves for a moment. And again, I want you to think about Jason's audience. What do they want from you? Not what are you going to get from them. Don't even think what you're getting from Jason. Think of, how do you serve Jason? What is it that you could show up with that he would be so amazed? I'm going to tell you, show up with your true self, for starters. Why? Because that's going to eliminate a lot of fears and nerves right off the bat. If you want to get rid of the nerves, focus on the other party and stop thinking about yourself, because you're not all that you think you are. I'm just kidding. You're all awesome. I always shock people when I say that, but I'm joking. But it's true, is our egos often get in the way of us showing up our best. So here's what I want to do. We're going to practice a couple things. I first of all want to bring everybody's energy level up. Prior to an interview, before the camera starts rolling, before the guest, during that time when the guest is about to announce you to come on and the camera's about to come on, I want you to take a couple of deep breaths. First of all, sit up straight and just take a big breath right now. Through your nose and out through your mouth. Do it again. Through your nose, out through your mouth. Now I want you to do something else. I want you to take your hands, rub your hands together really quickly. Okay, now I want you to stand up, unless you're all wired up, stand up carefully. And you can step to the side if you wish. And I want you to pump your calves up. What you're doing is you're pumping blood throughout your body, not to the point that you're winded, but just to get the blood flowing. Okay, give your body a little bit of a shake out. Show up back into the camera as yourself. I don't know who you were at first, but I want you to now just be yourself. So let's see, Stephanie, go ahead and unmute yourself. Stephanie.
Hi.
I just want to do coffee shop talk with you. Stephanie, tell me about your topic. What are you speaking on?
I'm talking about your real self-worth. And right, I just saw Maria's reaction. And it's about really, it's connecting the audience with what's really driving them. Because once we have the awareness, we can make different decisions of how we want to move forward in our lives.
Very nice. Folks, let me get some feedback. You can come on camera if you want, or if you want to do it in chat. Did Stephanie look relaxed and authentic? Put yes in the chat if you felt like that was herself. That was an appropriate response. Okay, good. So Stephanie, you're getting some positive feedback. And you're ultimately going to be the judge, Stephanie. How did you feel about it? Because other people can say, well, that was my impression. You felt like you were yourself, but how did you feel? And be honest, if you felt a little bit nervous, that's okay. Perfectly normal to be nervous, folks. We all have nervousness at different levels, but Stephanie, how did you feel?
It felt good. I was a little nervous, but being put on the spot was fine. Actually, I would rather go first than have time to think about it.
Cool. Very good. That's a profound statement, folks. Anytime you have an opportunity to dive right in, we work with clients that just cannot push the record button in the beginning to go live on Facebook. They just cannot do it. And I say, it's just a button, just push it and start talking. But they think about it and think about it. And the more they think about it, the more they talk themselves out of it, until to the point we almost have to grab their hand and like push the button for them. But my point is don't be afraid of going on camera, even if you suck, even if you think you're just the worst. Because remember what I said earlier, practice, 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 practice. You will become a star if you just do it. You will get better. Give yourself permission to be not the best guest in the world. So far, I'm seeing nobody sucks. I can tell visually, I can tell by your facial expressions, nobody's going to suck. You're all going to be really great. That's wonderful.